log you off of inactivity, so you gotta get logged back in again.
And everything has two-party verification anymore, so.
What's the protocol for pass? Are we far enough apart?
At both your shops and everything too?
Yeah, are you guys all vaccinated?
No.
I mean, if you're speaking, you can take it off, but I think otherwise, good protocol is to keep them on, since we're inside.
Ready to go?
Yeah, we're going, right? Oh,
It says live
Okay,
on
You're seeing right
YouTube.
now.
I have 1:04 on the 28th of April, 2021. I'd like to call this meeting to order. And Kathy, checking with you to make sure the roll calls were taken
Yes,
and have approval of the agenda. Any questions?
I have an addition.
Addition?
I have an addition, sir. 9C, I would like to add in, we do have a need to reschedule the next meeting. So we have discussion about the timing of the next meeting.
Okay. That would be the May meeting. Okay, anything else?
Right?
Entertain a motion to approve the agenda. So
The only other comment I would have is we to address yesterday at all. Just a question.
you have a question? You have a question?
If we should make a line item for yesterday's, we touch on that, all yesterday's medical law we discussed. Okay. I second.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion is carried. The approval of the, next is the public comments. Kathy, Keith, do we have any public comments coming in?
No, sir.
Okay. Then we go to certification of the accounts payable.
we didn't approve the minutes.
Yeah.
Just skip that.
Oh, I'll make the motion to approve the minutes. Oh, I thought we approved that. What did we approve? Agenda. The agenda. And the motion's been made to approve the minutes of the last meeting. All those in favor say, oh, do we have a second?
I don't have any questions on it, so I will second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion is carried. And now, the accounts payable.
Item 7 at Keith. I'm not seeing that much of on those fees on a monthly basis, so it's a quarterly type payment.
Well, the first one, number 7, is the monthly agreement.
Mhm.
So that has been on the tax form.
Mhm.
The Yukon server upgrade is an upgrade that we did to our Yukon server as part of our 5-year IT capital improvements fund. So that was approved in the last budget. So we upgraded the server. Yukon is our AMI meter reading software.
Okay.
Any other questions on this one? There's a couple of big ones on there. I'm surprised you didn't pick up 35 and 36. Well, engines that could pay the fairly regular basis. Large ones.
I just don't want the utility to get refunded, so that's why we pay them.
Yeah,
I think there's no moratorium on that right now.
good.
With 51, I see plastic products.
Yes.
Is there any other companies that they may not know about these rebates, or is there somehow we could, I mean, what did they do to?
Well, let me back up and give some background on the rebate programs. So the rebate programs are designed and administered by SIPA. As you guys may recall, that's where I came from. I used to be the ESR. And so it's our locally assigned ESR that administers that program. And they're responsible for doing a lot of marketing and outreach to the business community. The ESR has developed close relationships with a lot of businesses in town. And so during the course of their work, she identifies opportunities and works with all of our customers to do that. And that rebate then is issued by us, but SIPA reimburses us for that rebate. So it's actually not directly out of our pocket, but we pay for it through our SIPA rates. As far as advertising, we do bill messages, and I've done a lot of Facebook posts. The reason we do the big chat pictures that the chair has been involved in is to recognize the partnerships that we develop, but also to try to get other commercial customers to say, how do I get in on that? So we've done, over the years, we've done direct mail, we've had information at Public Power Week, we've done the Community Expo, we'll have a booth and we'll have application or rebates there. For everybody, so renters, all the way up to large industrial customers. So we do what we can to market. The one area that we do newspaper ads and inserts as well. One thing that we've never done is TV, because we're so small geographically. And we haven't done a lot of radio either. But other than that, we've tried to hit all the different media avenues that are at our disposal to really target our customers. So we try.
Yeah, I just asked the question because when I was going through the interview process for this position a couple of years ago, she was in the process of changing out or whatever it is that you qualify for lighting or whatever it may be. So I see that she's obviously followed through with that, which is great, which just caused me to sense that does everyone know about it? So we just answered that question. So good for them. I have nothing further.
I'll make a motion to accept the
Bill, motion's been made,
Second.
seconded, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion is carried. Reports. Keith, let's start.
Again, everything's in the packet, unless folks have questions. We can just, otherwise we can just move on to updates.
Good. Updates. Okay, perfect.
Scott?
For electric?
Generation, the power plant.
Generations.
Oh. Okay, in the plant, between us and the MMA hosted the generation school. We urge tested the engines, which is an annual thing. Jim and Kenny also got the batteries and the chargers installed in the plant. We're currently working on the upgrade of the SCADA system. And the Cat 5 inspection is due on the 5th of May.
Any questions from anybody on the generation plan? Distribution system, Mr. Liv.
Yes, in the past month or so, we've done a handful of pole change outs. We did some over at Mark Park, did a couple on West Branch Street. So a couple services that gone bad, one of them was this past winter, so we were able to get that back in the ground. We did some more work by, finished up a few services up by Rainbow Park that we're waiting for us to go out. We've done some AMI installs. We're just over 2,200 meters installed, which is about just over 78% of our total electric meters have been switched over. Just been a handful of service orders and stuff that have come in out of the ordinary. Finished up some tree trimming and some brush cutting. It's been kind of rainy lately, so we've been doing some GIS updates, getting some stuff squared away on that, and then the locate season has begun, so locates are piling in at a more frequent basis now. So I think there was about 20 of them last week, one day, 125 of them, so starting to pick up there, so.
Any questions on that? Okay. Back to Scott on the water.
The middle water tower is back in service.
Okay.
Monday, we're gonna start flushing hydrants. And then this past Monday, Minnesota Department of Health was here for our annual inspection. We did good. We had a couple of upgrades that we had to do to the treatment plant, so the guys have been busy with that this week. And then our water nodes we found out are for our AMI upgrade are out until August.
Yeah, I will cover that in our AMI section as well.
I'm sorry.
I will cover that in my AMI update as well.
Anything else?
Oh, that's all I got.
Did you mention the total control is going to be in?
Oh, I failed to mention that.
I think that makes it.
Yep, Total Control, which is our SCADA system company that we use, will be here Monday. The new actuators that we put at the treatment plant one need to be wired in, so they'll be here Monday to do that.
Cool. City of Princeton update. Mr. Princeton.
Yes, Chair. Well, let's see, I've been working with Keith on the host of the electronic vehicle host agreements. The city did approve the one for the site at the city parking lot last week. So the mayor and I signed that, and I handed it to Keith for your signature and then to have it recorded. Keith and I have been working on putting together information for the joint meeting between the PUC and the city council study session next week. So we'll have some information going out. And let's see, we're working on the industrial park. The city is. We're meeting this week to figure out the schedule and the timing to plat and to get it rezoned. And we just had a phone call yesterday with the Federal Economic Development Authority. They have a grant program, so we'll be reapplying for the grant to help pay for the infrastructure. We have two businesses that we've met with that are committed to building on two of the sites over there, and we are scheduling a meeting for a third. These are all businesses that sort of sponsored that previous EDA grant, which we did not get, but this time around, A, there's probably a little bit more money, and B, our ask isn't as big. Our ask last time was about $5 million. Our ask this time will be about $2 million to do the streets, pull the services over. We'll make sure that we install conduit for fiber, for internet access, those types of things. Been spending a lot of time with the FAA and the airports to accomplish the extension of, I call it 19th/21st Avenue, but to get that road connection built. We had bad news the first time around about releasing some of the airport land, but then the FAA put their creative thinking caps on and came up with a less onerous process to accomplish the same thing. So now we're back on the happy side of the scale, so we can hopefully move that project back into 21. We were thinking that was going to be delayed to 22. So, and then just working with our consultants on certifying the runway construction and the lighting and those types of things. I'm moving on with the taxiway project, which is the next phase. So, that's about it. Just business as usual, just trying to learn stuff and learn more stuff. And
Welcome aboard.
thank you.
I have a question. I know, they had started talking, about, doing a study for sewer upgrade, is that?
Yep, we have a comprehensive, sewer plan was completed. Haven't read it yet. But the intent is that that will go for the planning commission. We obviously didn't have a meeting in April here. We had some staff personnel whose family member had COVID, so I'm anticipating with Stephanie that that'll come for the planning commission next month.
Okay.
So yeah, you'll get to see that.
Is there anything in there that the water utility might want to know about? If there's recommended improvements, just so that we know if there's some areas where,
I haven't read it, so I can't answer that question,
okay,
but I can have Stephanie send it over to you so you can take a look at it.
that would be very nice.
I'll make a note to do that.
Okay. We're doing.
Yeah, on the regulatory side, we did complete our electric liability report. We completed our assistance report. Next up is we have our water consumer confidence report due June 1st. The only thing we have left to do is publish that, and then we'll be able to finish that up. The Department of Commerce's electric utility annual report is due July 1st, so we'll start working on that. And EPA's risk and resiliency report, I think it's June 1st, right? So Scott's been working on that as well. On the administrative side, we do have our financial audit scheduled for May 18th through the 20th. So May it's be a pretty busy month for the office, and Kathy is heading up a lot of that one as well. But next month is audit month for us. On the DSM side, energy efficiency and rebate programs, we did do a series of big check articles have been created. Those I will be posting to Facebook over the next month or so. I did plastic products about a week ago, and then we've got the other ones coming up as well. So those are all scheduled for social media dispatch. In terms of other organizations, EPA did recognize Princeton Public Utilities for exceptional electric reliability in 2020. So that we posted and we got the certificate for that. So that really says a lot about the line group, keeping the lights on. For MMUA, as already mentioned, we hosted the generation school last week. That all went very smoothly. And we were going to host MMUA's regional safety evaluation committee on Tuesday. That's been postponed now. But when the time comes, MMUA really loved the space, worked out really well for them. And especially, excuse me, especially for our area where we, MMUA's got folks coming from the north, the west, the east, and up from the metro. It's going to be a good spot for them. So the nice thing with the generation school is we had 30 people here. And a lot of them stayed at the American right here in town. I know they ordered a pizza pub for dinner one night. So we're doing what we can to promote some economic development. Make Princeton be a good destination for everything. So all that's been going great. In terms of our disconnects, we pulled weather rule expired on the 15th. We did some more on the 20th. Couple of results just to let the commission know. After 1 month of disconnection, and all we're doing is still just cycling. for the arrears that we had on that list. And in March, we focused on everybody who was 6 months or more behind. And then in April, we focused on everybody that was 3 months or more behind. So we're trying to whittle down that list. And in terms of what we had in March for arrears that we weren't able to get anything, any contact with compared to April, that number dropped by 40%, even though we expanded the base as the older count. So we made some really good progress on trying to get people current again. And again, the office staff has just been phenomenal. It's been a lot of work the last couple of months to reach out and try to come up with something that gets people back on a payment plan. But we're really seeing the results for it. You know, it still continues to be a challenge. We continue to cycle some of our customers, but everything's going in a positive direction. That's my manager update. Unless
So, the ongoing business updates on AMI and EVs.
AMI electric is 78.3% complete in terms of our conversions. So we're still on path to get those done this year. Water is at 29.7% complete. And yeah, unfortunately, we got the news this week that the factories that make the water nodes are still shut down. So our delivery, which was supposed to have been this week, which that would had even been delayed once, is now postponed until August. That is basically creating a 9-month delay in our project. Scott and I need to kind of sit down and kind of go through some numbers. We're currently, we upped it this year to 150 nodes per quarter. But with this delay, I don't know that we, even if we get more nodes in, I don't know that we really do more than 150 a quarter. So I think what it means is that the water AMI project is going to be delayed until 2024 for ultimate completion. Again, and that's still assuming that we do it in August when the manufacturer says that they can provide it. So water has been put, the water AMI version is essentially on hold until we get another shipment of product. There's not a whole lot we can do. So what we're focusing on, Scott and I are talking about some other issues that we some documentation, GIS, and you know, a lot of other things. So the guys will keep busy. You know, there's no problem with that. It's just we're just gonna have to shift to a couple of other tasks for the summer. On the EVs, we have identified 2 locations for the level 2s. And I've been working very closely with both parties. The city of Princeton is the first one, and then Neighbors Bar and Grill is the second. We have modified the host agreement just a little bit. If the commission recalls, you guys had approved a template boilerplate for us to use for the EV stuff. But since I changed it, I thought it would be best to have you guys re-approve these contracts. The additions are, as Michelle pointed out, to make it a recordable document with, so that everything is notarized. And then we also included in the exhibits the actual legal language for the property, just so it's perfectly clear what we're doing. And then it goes with the title of property. Not, you know, I guess it's not as big of a deal for the city, but when we're doing a host agreement with a private party, you know, it is a really good practice to do. So we did add in those components to it. I think it makes it stronger. And I thank Michelle for helping me make this a better document. So this would complete the EV installations. If we could, I would like a motion to approve both of those agreements if, unless the commission has some questions about the location or the contract itself.
What page is the contract on?
I
Yes,
don't have a page number.
so S1 is the contract for the city.
Yeah, as part of the PDF, I don't know what the page number is. in the PDF. It is, it's after the reports.
It's like page 35 of the PDFs. This is the one from the city. The contract, the language for us, the one that follows that document.
Yes.
What language did we change?
So in the recital, so on the first page, in the recital sentence has includes the legal description of the parcel where the electrical vehicle charging station is located. That's new. And then the other addition was the inclusion of having this notarized. So that's new. Before it was just a signature. And then in the exhibit itself, below the picture is the legal description of the property. And then this will make it a recordable device, and so I can submit that to the county to make everything official.
And so the agreement with neighbors is essentially the same language.
Yes, yes, they are identical. Just the locations are different. So it's a 10-year contract, or 10-year agreement. I should say.
I'll make a motion that we approve those agreements with.
Motion's been made to approve these agreements.
Second.
And seconded. All those in favor say aye.
All right.
Aye.
Motion is carried.
I do have a follow-up question for me. So I know we were looking for a home for these two for a while.
Yes.
How many more do we have scheduled or we're planning on?
None, this is
Okay.
really happening. Now, SIPA does provide us an option to purchase 4 if the community wishes. But then we would have to pay for those units.
Okay.
It's not something that we pursued yet, but something that you really want to do.
Well, it'd be nice to see the usage on these locations, so that'd be good. Does SIMPA come out with an annual program, or do they change it, for next year as this grows?
This was really set up as a one-time activity, as to whether or not
Everybody
they,
started.
yeah, as to whether or not they do it again, I can't say.
Okay.
This was kind of a one, I mean, at least the way it's out now.
Yeah. But as it grows, there may be more opportunities.
Yes. Any other questions on those 2 contracts? Okay, so then the next section in your packet, and really this is more of a housekeeping activity, but it does just kind of formalize everything. So the DC fast charger and the 2 level 2s that we received from SIMPA basically created a grant program that we have. We just need to install that ourselves. SIMPA, for obvious legal reasons, they bought them, but they want to transfer ownership to us. So they have asked to have us sign this assignment and assumption agreement. Just saying that we take possession of these, and we don't have to pay anything for them, we give them to us. So then we own it. It's still going to be handled under SIMPA's maintenance contract with that, so they're not going to continue to service it, but legally they want to transfer ownership from them to us. And so that's why they're asking for us to sign this assumption agreement. That makes sense.
Is that, what's the purpose of that?
Well, basically, what it comes down to is, SIP has really deep pockets because they're a much bigger utility than we are. And if somebody should have an accident and run into it, SIP doesn't want to get sued for something that happened on a property that's not theirs, with equipment that they're not really using. So the idea is really to have them excluded from any potential lawsuit, really is what I think it's about. For us, we put bollards in place and the liability is low. I mean, you know, if somebody has an accident, it's going to be for other factors, but it's more to get that liability off of their shoulders. This is how I read it.
But
Thank you.
I think this is what's known as the probable percentage clause. We're washing our hands and it's not our fault.
Yeah, they just don't want to get, again, SIPA, because they do have, I think we have big cash reserves. SIPA has big cash reserves. And so anytime something remotely happens that involves a SIPA or an Excel or, you know, whoever you want to talk about, they always like to call them the big guys into a lawsuit because that's where you get the millions and millions of dollars. So they get sued they get involved in every lawsuit.
Just as long as they know, they'll still get removed. Whether they sign this or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A good.
It's just another layer.
Yeah.
Are we putting, because we're the ones maintaining these and setting them up and we're visible, do we have any kind of disclaimers at the pump, as it were, that says it's not our fault, you put it in wrong, or you know what I'm asking?
I understand. So there's a couple of things that we have done, just to try to make sure nothing ever happens. We put bollards in front of, there's no room for bollards in front. For the one at the city lot, we'll have a bollard, but there's also a light pole right next to it. That'll protect it. The same for the one at neighbors. We're gonna have bollards, and there's a street light or security light pole right there, plus a bunch of trees too. So
the work to get to that.
yeah, and then Jeremy and his crew are also putting in a breaker of sorts for the L2s as well.
Yeah, yeah.
So if somebody runs it over, it'll break the circuit, so you don't have a live voltage underneath the car, you know, in a bad situation like that. So we've taken a lot of steps to make sure everything's safe. As far as the use of the unit, to what you're saying, it's still a ZEP product. It's still ZEP's machine. And so they would hold the liability for that. The only thing that could ever happen is if something happened, ZEP got sued, they went and inspected it and found out that we installed it incorrectly. But we've had it inspected. ZEP's come up, and, you know, they've been looking at the stuff, and they told us how to put everything in. So I mean, we've got the layers, as Commissioner's work said, to make sure that, you know, our liability is Simple will still maintain the unit. They hold the service agreement with staff, but the intention is really kind of at the end of 10 years, which is when the staff agreement ends, which is when all our host agreements end. You know, we buy the used unit from Block and get everything taken care of.
Well, and who knows where the technology is going to be at that point.
So we'll still have the footing, the base there, which would be nice. So we could be hopefully upgraded.
Jeremy, can you confirm that they were inspected?
Zeph did inspect them, yes. I don't believe they were inspected. I don't know if Rick had that inspected by the state. I don't even know if they need to. In fact, I just wrote down a note to double check on that. Because a lot of the stuff that we do as a utility doesn't fall under the state electrical code. Like we don't have to have your house, we have to have your house inspected. We are under the NESC, which is different than the NEC. So a lot of the stuff we do does not have to be inspected by the state electrical inspector.
And there is a distinction between the DC fast charger, which is a 50 kW.
Yep.
480.
Yep.
Which is what Zach looked at, because that's where you have the potential for the most damage. The L2s are just running off, isn't it just a 120 or is it a 240?
122, one will be out the single phase transformer, one will be out the 3-phase, but it's a single phase service.
Yeah, so the L2s are, more of in the house. So I don't know that some comes up and inspects the L2s, it was the DC factor that they are most concerned with.
The other thing I wanted to ask about is, I downloaded an app, which I can't find on my new phone, but it's out there somewhere, to identify charging stations that charge me over. There's apps out there for this. And so I pulled it up the other day on my prior phone, and it had 2 charging stations in Elk River. And nothing else. And this was just a few days ago. So I'm concerned that we're not, part of the deal was with Princeton map as a charging station area.
Which app were you?
I don't know, I'll go find it, but, it's one of those apps that everybody should, it was a fairly popular app. It was recommended to me by some folks with charging or with electric vehicles. So, but okay, I'll get it. And I was surprised that we weren't there. So, there's something, so this is a note to keep. Check that out. And
If you don't know what happened is, the ones I checked, it's found it. So,
okay, good,
but yes, I would be more than happy to let that know.
wonderful. Okay. Moving.
I would need a motion.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve that agreement.
Motion's been made to approve those agreements. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion is carried. Down to C, 8C, service territory development.
I just want to mention that I am continuing to have negotiations with East Central Energy for the industrial park. I did send an email follow-up yesterday, so I'm still waiting to hear back from them. What our position has been is we would basically just like to extend the Arrow Business Park agreement with East Central for the new land. So East Central Energy came back and asked for a bunch of money up front. I reiterated that, we have an existing agreement and we would like to move forward with that. It addressed all the issues before us, and so I'm waiting to hear back from them. I've offered to meet with them whenever it's convenient for them, so that we can continue negotiations and try to get that wrapped up. Once East Central Energy and Princeton Public Utilities are coming to agreement, then everything needs to be filed with the State Public Utilities Commission to change the service territory lines. In order for all this to get done, we're probably looking at this year. If everything goes well before we get anything official. Just to give you an idea of the timeline. Service territories always take more time than it seems like they should, but it's the nature of the beast.
Nature of the beast. Okay. Last thing under 8 is convenience fees.
The only thing I have to say is, we do have that on the agenda, or Michelle and I are talking about having that on the agenda for the meeting next week. So that's where we're at with that. So the commission and the council can talk about it.
New business. Bovis Memorial Scholarship.
Yes, we did receive applications, and we had two commission had talked about having one winner for it, but then I have a winning scholarship and a runner-up scholarship. So we were looking at giving $500 to the winner and $250 to the runner-up. That will be presented at the Princeton High School Award, which is Wednesday, May 12th, which are doing virtual again this year. So I'm going to put together a little, I've been asked to put together a video for that, so they can present that to the winners. And then I did submit the winning essay to MMUA for their statewide competition. Those don't get decided until sometime next month. So I don't know how that, we'll have to wait and see who wins on that. So I'm requesting the motion to accept the winner and runner-up for the corresponding dollar amount side, that's the 500.
So
I'll second.
Motion has been made and seconded to approve the extension of the discussion board. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion is carried. The next item is the LLCHS permit.
Yes, the Mille Lacs County Historical Society, a gracious host for our meetings, has submitted a request. It's memorandum 21-13 in your packets. They are working on, I actually think it's a really cool project. They found that they got the old telegraph insulators still on the building. And then with the lawn siding depot building that they put in, what they would like to do is set up a telegraph system. So once they open and they start bringing kids in here again, the kids could actually do Morse code from the main office here to the depot and back again. So they want to string some wires up, but going from the corner of this building to the lawn siding is a bit of a job. And so they approached us and asked if we would be willing to help them put in a couple of poles. We've got a couple of used poles that we've taken off the system. They don't really meet our standards for electric reliability. But for a telegraph system, it would be just perfect. So the Historical Society is asking if the commission would allow us to do a little bit of community service work. We've got the poles, we can spare a couple of guys over, put all those in. They have volunteers that are going to do all the wiring and things like that. With parts and everything, it might be $100, just for. So, it's really, the costs are really quite minimal, but I think it's a fun community project. I would like the commission to work with the Historical Society.
does that come with an Apple guarantee?
And Apple guarantee.
Oh, back in history. I will make that motion to accept.
Motion has been made.
Oh, is there a way to, some, social media?
Absolutely. Barry was even talking about putting a plaque or something on the poles, just attributed by. We were just brainstorming, but he's more than happy to let folks know of our partnership.
I'll second.
I have a question before we go forward on this. I'm sure the folks at the Historical Society can handle the wiring internally here, but if we're taking a cable, a line from a pole to a pole, my assumption is some of our pole guys can do that, and not somebody, one of the ladies from the front office here, climbing up a pole to get that done. I just want to make sure that we've got somebody responsible and try to get that done.
Yes, sir.
It's just a shot, to make sure we're in charge there. Well, I want to see Jeremy about full accepted. But if that's the case, I would, unless there's further discussion, I would go vote. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion is carried. I think.
We do have.
We have 9C, timing of the May meeting.
Yeah, so currently our next meeting is scheduled for Wednesday, May 26th. I checked with Barry, this room is available the day before, Tuesday, May 25th, to make sure that all the commissioners can attend. If that is acceptable, everybody.
I have, Clarification at 2 o'clock on that day, so if we could do it like in the morning.
The room is available all day.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm good with that.
Well, I have a problem with these 10 o'clock meetings. But I'll best effort. We could do 10 o'clock.
Send a text out.
Plus your car. I'm good with that. Do we need a motion for that or?
Yes.
Okay.
So,
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Motion's been made to move our main meeting to the 25th, Tuesday at 10 o'clock. All those in favor say aye.
All right.
Aye. Motion is also carried.
I appreciate that, James.
Glad to have you. Okay. Anything else?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Motion has been made to adjourn today's meeting.
Second?
All those in favor say aye.
All right.
Motion is carried. We are adjourned. And I think